Mr. Speaker, allow me to be the first of the season to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Quelle belle célébration. We love our great Canadian traditions, including Christmas, Mr. Speaker. But unfortunately, after 8 years, this Prime Minister promises nothing but a carbon-taxed lump of coal for Canadians. Will he get off the backs of Canadians so that they can enjoy beautiful gifts, maybe even a turkey and a warm meal around the Christmas table this season?
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to point out that we're the government that's phasing out coal, Mr. Speaker, over the opposition of the Leader of the Opposition. We're going to continue to build a better and brighter future for all Canadians, and that includes fighting against climate change so we can ensure that we keep a stronger future for Canadian children to be able to go sledding, but also so that we can make sure that they have better jobs into the future. The climate denialism of the Conservative Party of Canada is putting future white Christmases at risk, and that's why on this side of the House we stand for Christmas.
Mr. Speaker, that has to be the angriest and most caustic Christmas message I've ever seen. No, this is a guy, he hasn't phased out coal despite his theatrics over there, Mr. Speaker. What he's doing is phasing out food because Canadians can't afford it now as he raises carbon taxes on the wonderful farmers that bring it to our table. Why won't he axe the tax on farmers so that Canadians can eat, heat, and house themselves? And why doesn't he be a little less like Scrooge and a little more like Santa Claus?
Mr. Speaker, one of the issues we have is when he talks about the impact of our price on pollution on farmers, he includes farmers in Ukraine. He includes farmers who are busy feeding us and feeding people around the world. He has stood against the free trade deal that Vladimir Zelensky and the Ukrainian people want us to have because he pretends we're imposing a price on pollution on them, which of course we are not. But that is the extent to which he will spin up to make a political attack when it is completely unfounded. We will be there to stand with Ukraine and with Christmas, Mr. Speaker.
Can't even have a little bit of fun in this place, Mr. Speaker, because of course once he's off script, that's when he starts rambling all over the map, unable to stay on any subject possible. The question was about the cost of food. After he's forced Canadians to line up in bread lines that we have not seen since the Great Depression. 2 million, a record-smashing 2 million visits to a food bank. And now he sees it as the time to quadruple the tax on the farmers that feed us. Will he stop blocking common sense Conservative Bill C2, 3, 4 to take the tax off the farmers so that Canadians can afford Christmas?
97% of farm fuel emissions are already exempt from our price on pollution. That is what the Leader of the Opposition refuses to accept. There are many factors that go into the rise in food prices, not just in Canada and around the world, and the war in Ukraine is certainly one of them. So the fact that they have not chosen to stand with Ukraine against Russia in this difficult time is very much relevant, no matter how much they try to dodge and spin out of it. They're not standing with Ukraine at this difficult time.
Hear, hear.
This Prime Minister would like Canadians to think about anything other than their hungry stomachs after 8 years in office. He would like Canadians to forget that he has doubled the cost of rent, that he wants to quadruple the carbon tax, that he's given us the worst interest rate hikes in Canadian history. The least he could do is back off on his plan to quadruple the tax on our farmers. So, will he stop blocking Bill C-234, the common sense Conservative bill to take the tax off our farmers so that our Canadian people can afford to eat?
Mr. Speaker, that might be a little more of a credible question if it hadn't been for the fact that the Conservative Party delayed implementation of our Affordability Act that brought in more competition on groceries, that is moving forward to stabilize grocery prices and support Canadians through this difficult time. They've also stood against other initiatives we're supporting Canadians with, like dental care for young Canadians, but also for seniors, as is coming in the coming months. They've stood against supports like our grocery rebate. They've stood against the investments that we're busy making to support Canadians right across the country because they stand for austerity and cuts.
That's right.